Hey everybody, Johnny the Painter Man. Well, today I wanted to talk to you about heavy equipment and how to use it and pretty much how to protect yourself. After all, your safety is important because if you're going to do painting and you're going to make that money, you need to be protected. Okay? Protection is extremely important. This happens to be the Genie S-65. This has a lot. It's a span of 66 feet, but realistically, I mean, you can stretch it as far safely 52 feet or 52 something feet. This happens to be a diesel unit, and it's four-wheel drive. This is something that will get you virtually anywhere, providing that you have flat terrain in order to drive back and forth. You don't want to be driving on soft grass. If you have sprinkler systems, make sure the sprinkler systems are visible. Don't flatten them, don't destroy them. This unit is fairly heavy, and but it's a very what do you call it? The word just left me. It's versatile. That's what I wanted to say. So, here we go. Let's get inside here. The basket. This is called the basket. Make sure you have a working fire extinguisher. Okay. Don't do more than you can handle. If you're gonna park it somewhere, use a cone system to let people know what the perimeter is surrounding your unit, your tool, your device, your heavy equipment. Make sure you have to be considerate of other people as well, especially in a setting like this where there's people renting these units. These are like condo units. Okay, so this is the panel. You have different controls. Will do different things. Most important are how to go up, how to go back, how to tilt. All these things is something that you need to study in a classroom prior to operating one of these. Okay? And when I mean operation, you need to know what to do and what not to do. Don't take unnecessary risks, and make sure you are protected at all times. So I'm going to turn this around. So here I am, and I'm wearing a safety harness. You cannot get into one of these without a safety harness. This is probably one close to top of the line safety harnesses made by Sala. Many of you have heard of this safety harness, and it's probably one of the best ones out there. You can hang your cell phone here on one side. You can put a notebook here on the other. Keep track of things. If you happen to have walkie-talkies, there's one for Johnny. The Painter Man gets a walkie-talkie. Okay? Besides that, all right. By the way, the price tag on one of these, you need to have it. Okay? If you're in the commercial business, residential, you probably don't need it as much. Depending on how high you go, I would recommend that you use some sort of system to protect your workers. Okay, you got to take them into consideration. One bad step and you're done. You could die. Okay. Something that I use in this application here is hang on, I'm having an issue. You want one of these devices. This hooks on the very back side of me. Hooks up in the back. This is something that you can hook. These units have a hook where you can hook things. This goes here. Okay, that's where that goes. So every time you're in the basket, you need to be tied off. Okay, do not operate one of these unless you know how to. Don't get into it and try to figure it out. It takes a lot of coordination. It's speed. You have controls that control speed. You can go fast, you can go slow. The response time for moving, if you move the basket way too fast, what will happen is that you could run into things, destroy things, damage things, and then you're held liable for that. And of course, your company is going to suffer some sort of reputation blow if you don't. Always remember this. People always remember the negative. They don't quite remember the positive. One negative thing, forget it. That puts the tune on everything that you do. So be mindful, be safe. Painters are people that are seen. There's people inside these units, and they're looking to see what you do, how you do it, and what your behavior is. Okay? So please, guys, this right here, it's not really pricey. But I'll tell you what, it'll save you from close to $100,000 if you happen to fall and break bones. I know. I fell in 2010, 26 feet. 26 feet is the third floor landing up there. That's about 26 feet. I fell from a distance from there to the ground. Okay? I know what I'm talking about. And I want you guys to be protected, to be safe, do things in an orderly fashion. Don't go crazy, okay? Haste makes waste. I wish I would have heard that, and I wish I would have worn one of these, because I would not have needed a helicopter, an $8,000 helicopter ride to the nearest trauma center, which was on a helicopter. It took 11 minutes for me to get there. Oh, here's the bees. The bees are around. Okay, just the helicopter ride. The ambulance ride was $750 just to scrape me off the ground, put me on a stretcher, diagnose me to make sure I'm not passing out or have open wounds or something like that, which I didn't, thank God. And then they brought me probably about a 1.5 mile ride in the ambulance to the helicopter. The helicopter was pricey. Pretty helicopter though. Took me 13 months to recover. I broke my tibia, my fibula, my ankle in 5 pieces, and my arm, my wrist became part of my arm. And then therapy, forget it. So making a long story short, I ended up losing my house, and eventually we had to do a short sale, and it took me about 10 years to get out of debt. Okay? If you're not protected, forget it. Protect yourself, please. Learn from me. I share these videos for you to know what to expect and learn how to do things right. And preserve your life in the process. Make the money and preserve your life. Be protected. Use safety precautions. Follow a protocol. Okay? And don't fall. So this unit here, you need a certification in order to run it. Every state is different. In most cases, a certification will last about 3 years, and then you have to get a refresher course. And the refresher course is not always transferable from one state to another. So I ended up moving from Boston to Washington. I had certification through my employer, but guess what? It's not transferable to this employer. So this employer had to certify me. And I had to go through an 8-hour course. And of course, I need to understand. I need to know how to use this. I need to know how to inspect it, because not everything that looks new necessarily means it's in its working order, if you know what I mean. Okay? So everything has to be inspected. And if you see some stress on a strap, okay, like for instance, this has paint on it already, okay? But You look at the stitching. It's what you want to look at. Make sure that stitching is sound. Nothing is frayed. Make sure the clip works how it's supposed to work. Okay? And that everything is functional. If it doesn't work, don't use it. You're risking your life. This is your safety mechanism, especially when I'm up there. Especially when I'm 40 feet up in the ground, 50 feet off the ground inside of a basket. God forbid, you know, all of a sudden the ground sinks in and then my Genie is like offset and then I flip. God forbid. But it's happened. You know what I mean? The ground gave way from the weight. So all of a sudden, the person is 50 feet up in the air and the thing flips. Long story short, follow safety. Do your job the right way. Haste makes waste. Make sure everything is functional, everything is working. Don't get stuck with one of these way up high. Some have a mechanism where you can still come down. Others will leave you stuck. Make sure you have your cell phone on you. Because you start hollering and nobody hears you, you're done. Okay? And don't do any monkey business. Okay. Thank you for watching Johnny the Painter Man's videos. Why don't you click on the bell? Click on the bell. Follow me. So every time I make a video, you get to see it and you get to laugh at me because I'm a beginner. No way, shape, or form am I professional. Okay. So, God bless you. Have a wonderful day. Be safe. Be healthy. Wear your mask. I'm not wearing it right now, but I'm wearing this mask. What is it? N95. And keep your distance from other people. You don't know who has COVID, who doesn't. Okay, take care. God bless you. Talk to you soon.